Hey everyone, I'm extremely lucky to be interviewing the incredible Sarah Davies today. Sarah is a very talented illustrator whose recent book called Pippa and Dronie has just been released. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's right here. It's very cool. They only arrived on Friday. Got a big box. It's very
Yay. I believe that Sarah is an inspirational for illustrator because of her book to help promote women in science in a fun way through her incredible illustrations. And she also has Ehlers Danlos Syndrome and many of the comorbidities, just like me, but she's still managing to have an amazing career in the children's book industry. Thank you so much for letting me interview you.
No worries. It's lots of fun. Thank you for asking.
Are you ready to get started?
Yep, absolutely.
Completely unrelated to your work to start with, I know you love gardening. If you could grow any plant, real or fictional, what would it be?
I was thinking about this and I thought probably mandrake root, which is from Harry Potter. And I've got a little fig here that I bought specifically because it looks like this, which I think
So
is
cool.
kind of mandrakey. And mandrake roots help people come out of paralysis, which is really cool. And there was a time with my Ehlers Danlos where my medication was wrong and all my muscles stopped working. So some mandrake root would have been really helpful then. But yeah, I just think they're kind of funky, and I like plants that kind of are, I don't know, they've kind of got personalities.
Yeah, I have a little bit of sleep paralysis, so that would be very handy to me too.
Oh, I've had that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun, not pleasant.
No,
The book.
I don't like it.
The book you recently illustrated, Pippa and Dronie, was released during Science Week. How are you feeling about it?
Really good, really good. During Science Week, every day of the week, we had where the author would interview one of the characters, one of the people that the characters were based on. So the women who are working in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and maths. I like to put an A in there to make it STEAM because, you know, that's super hot, but also art makes everything better. So throughout that week, you got to meet the real people. And I did an illustrator talk on the Friday, and it was like bringing the book to life. It was really cool. And I'm really proud of what I've managed to achieve because, as you know, I've got Ehlers Danlos and dysautonomia and the similar things that you live with. And that's hard to then achieve your goals. So it's made me work even harder to achieve my goals. And so I feel super proud of what I've managed to do. And also it's given me confidence to keep moving forward because ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a children's book author illustrator and an author illustrator of books in general. But I think I got waylaid. Like, you know, I thought I had to go and do the proper career and all of that sort of thing. And because my health has meant I stay at home more, I could then focus on what I actually really love doing. And so it's been a benefit. It's been a positive. Yeah, that was a lot of answer.
You should definitely be proud. It's an incredible book. I haven't got it yet, but I know it's going to be incredible because I've seen so many pictures of it. And as it's about science, we currently have a background about science.
Yes, I've got some of my sciencey things up here. I've got my drone. So the author of the book actually sent this to me as a gift, which was such a lovely thing to do. And I flew it for the first time, I think last week. So much fun. It's got a camera. So the drone in the book has got a downward facing camera. So it moves like frontwards, downwards. So Dronie, she can take pictures. You go straight up and then take a picture almost like a map or a painting of the earth. And I've always found those really fascinating. You know, the patterns that you see in the earth when you take a picture from up high. This one only takes forward facing pictures, so you have to fly it back so that you can kind of see the vista in front of you. It's really awesome. Great way to start, and I'm very grateful.
That's
Cool.
so cool.
Yeah, science stuff. I love science too.
I love that this book celebrates women in science. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Okay, well, we take Pippa and Dronie in the book. Pippa creates Dronie, she builds Dronie, and because Dronie has a camera and her job isn't like the job of lots of other robots. So robots do all sorts of things, you know, like they can grab stuff and all sorts of robot-y things. Dronie's feeling a little bit sad and she's like, well, what am I good for? So Pippa takes her around Australia and she meets all sorts of really interesting, fabulous people and does stuff like collecting whale snot, which is an actual thing that Vanessa Pirotta here, who's one of the scientists, does with her drone. And looking after the Great Barrier Reef.
I love that scene.
I know. I spent so long on this one. It was such a pleasure to paint. It was just so much fun. And rehabilitating mine sites. Trying not to get eaten by crocodiles. This is one of my favourite ones as well. She went up and helped country managers up on the Dampier Peninsula in remnants of rainforests that have been there since dinosaurs, which is mind-blowing. And helping search for earthquakes. So it kind of shows kids that being a scientist isn't all about wearing a lab coat and doing chemistry and lots of maths. Yeah, there's like heaps of cool stuff that you can do, and it, without saying it, it shows that women do great jobs in science, and that, you know, representation is so important because it shows you what the possibilities are. If you can't see it, you can't be it.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I want to work with you on a book about EDS, because that's another representation issue. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I think that's going to be really cool.
Pippa and Dronie is such a beautiful and diverse book. I love all the characters. Who would have to be your favourite character to draw and why?
Okay, it's tricky because I loved them all. For each one, I had to learn about the science that particular person was doing with drones and how drones were making their job easier or possible when it wasn't possible before. But I think my favorite would be Monica. Here's Monica up on Yaru land, which is all the way up here near Broome, because I found out that there's places in Australia that just are so amazing, and I had no idea. Like, we've got dinosaur footprints up there and rainforest that has been around since the dinosaurs, and I really want to go and have a look. I think that's so exciting. For all of them, they're each in a different place, and so doing the research, I also learned about all of those different places, and that was fun too. It's kind of like getting to be an explorer. Yeah.
This all sounds so cool. Oh, sounds like such a pretty place.
Yeah, I think it's very different. The colours look different up near Broome as well. And I'm really interested in the science of colour, so that's something I find interesting. Yeah.
Your illustrations are all so beautiful and bright. Where do you get the inspiration for your unique styles?
I guess it's developed just over time. I've been making art since I was little and making art more seriously since I left school. Although it did take me a long time to be able to call myself an artist and to decide that that was definitely the track I wanted to take. I get inspiration from other artists and from children's books. I've got a collection of my favourite children's books. And whenever I go to the bookstore, I'll go and hang out in the kids section. And the thing that attracts me is really beautiful, vibrant, juicy colours. And then if there's a brilliant story, then that's even better. So yeah, from other authors and illustrators and from the world around me, really, because I love science and I love exploring the world and learning new things. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love vibrant colours too. You can just get so many inspiration for them.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
You have Ehlers Danlos, just like me. It's cool to meet awesome people with the same conditions, but it kind of sucks to know that you live with this pain and struggles too. What are some of the strategies you use to help you get through the day when you are trying to work on your art, but also trying to manage your condition?
What I realized, because it was about 6 months to make the book, and what I realized was that I had to put my health first, and that when I did that, I achieved far more. So if I tried to push through and ignore what my body was trying to tell me, I would end up just crashing and being exhausted and getting less work done than I would otherwise. So I guess it was a good lesson. And it helped me develop some more healthy routines and make sure that I get enough sleep, because all of that stuff impacts on your well-being as well. And being flexible, I think being able to access a lot of stuff online has been brilliant. Yeah, it's been so good. So trying to make sure that people are aware that I need to be a little bit flexible, because I can't always tell beforehand whether I'm going to be well or not for an event or a meeting or whatever.
Yeah, naps and putting your health first are very important, especially next to me.
Naps are good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the speed questions.
Oh, speed questions.
What are you writing or illustrating at this moment?
At the moment, the author of the book, Paul Mead, who is down here, and his company are developing an app to go with the book, so that can kind of help you dig further into the concepts and can help kids get a bit of knowledge about flying drones. And so there's going to be some extra illustrations for the app, so I'll be working on that. I'm kind of collecting ideas that I've got for books that I would like to make. You probably won't be surprised that one of them I want to make about plants. I know that just sounds really boring, but there's so much
sounds
cool
awesome.
stuff.
I love plants.
Yeah. So I've got an idea for a book about plants, and I love illustrating scientific concepts that are difficult to understand with words, but once you put it into an illustration, it's like, oh, now I see how everything relates to itself, how it all relates in the bigger picture. And that's one of my favorite things to do. That's really rewarding. So I'm kind of looking at doing that sort of thing as well.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
I've got two. So I really like salted caramel,
Yes.
but I also like ginger beer flavored gelato. That's really yummy. I know, it's weird.
That's a bit of an odd one, but I mean, you never know. It could be nice.
It's really yummy.
Which book character do you or have you had a crush on?
That was a hard one, I think. I remember thinking that Hermione was pretty cool, probably because she's like as annoyingly nerdy as I am. But not really anyone recently, like in books that aren't YA. But yeah, I'll think about it.
What was your worst
I'll see if I
subject
can
in
come with
school?
anyone else. But for now, just Hermione. Maths. I found maths really hard because it was taught in an abstract way with no pictures. And I'm a
Yeah.
visual thinker. And so what I'm doing now with my daughter is working out how to learn maths visually. And I'm actually teaching it to myself so that I can help her because she's a visual thinker too.
Awesome. Who was your favorite or most inspirational author?
At the moment, Neil Gaiman. I love the way that he kind of paints pictures with his words. I find that really engaging, and I can kind of visualize things as I'm reading. And I like the way that he looks at ideas about what's underneath everything. So we've got like just day-to-day things that we do and the human dramas and things, but he kind of explores all the stuff at the edges, and I like that.
It sounds like a really, really cool author. You add him to my list of things.
Definitely.
Do you prefer reading ebooks or hard books?
I like to I don't have too many books. I have too few shelves. So I do really enjoy hard books, especially when they're illustrated or non-fiction books about interesting things. I tend to listen to audiobooks when it comes to fiction, because then I can draw or paint at the same time or do whatever else it is I need to do, look after the chickens, do housework, blah, blah, blah. So I listen to audiobooks and I like hard books. Ebooks, not as much unless they're more interactive.
What is the weirdest place or thing you've got inspiration from for your writing?
My chickens. I think my chickens. Sitting outside, watching them scratch around and run off when they hear something imaginary. It made me think, what's it like to be a chicken? And then I started thinking, I wonder if I could write a picture book from the eyes of a chicken. And that really made me start to think about writing in general as something where you step into someone else's shoes. And I find that really interesting. So, yeah.
Sounds so cool. Do you remember the first book you ever read, or if not, your favorite book that you just love to read?
One of my favorite books to read when I was growing up was Playing Beatty Bow, which is about a girl who goes back in time in Sydney. And I've always loved the idea of time travel. Not that I think it's necessarily possible, but yeah, it's a really good book.
What do you see as your biggest achievement so far in life?
Probably raising my daughter, because that's kind of a game changer. Like once you have a kid, everything is different. And being a single parent means that, like I needed support in various areas from people, but a lot of it kind of comes down to me. And it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done because she's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome. Do you have any advice to share with young writers and artists?
Don't listen to anyone who says that pursuing writing or art isn't a good life choice. I put it aside for quite a while because I thought I needed to do, the adult grown up stuff. And then when I've come back to it and a bunch of other people who are resin illustrators too, and I'm like, these are my people. Why did I waste so much time over there doing that stuff? So yeah, just go for it. Follow your curiosity.
Beautiful advice. Thank you so much for letting me grill you. This has been awesome.
Thank you. Excellent grilling.
Make sure to check out Sarah Davies on her social media and buy the book because it's incredible.
Thank you.